Hi, thanks for watching. This is my 110-gallon goldfish tank, but I'm only using 70 gallons worth. That's because I have fancy goldfish, and this is a 110 tall aquarium, which means too much pressure on fat-bodied fish. And all my fish, except maybe for Spartacus and, yeah, only Spartacus, are fat-bodied. So these fancy goldfish, I have 10 of them. I have a ranchu, I have orondas, I have crown pearl scales, 2 of them. I have a lot of Dominicans, the black, the fan-tailed Dominican, and another a kind of a red and white one. They all have names. That's how I make them personal, so that I take very good care of them. And as you can see, the water is very, very clear. And that's because although I'm overstocked at 70 gallons with 10 fish, I have excellent filtration and water agitation. I have 2 giant pond-sized sponge filters, which collects a lot of beneficial bacteria. And they work also in removing ammonia that comes out of their gills and out of their poo and whatever quickly. It sucks it in at 175 gallons and goes through this little see-through pipe, as you can see there. And then it comes out, and you have this water agitation up there, which is excellent. It spits it out. It goes, the back of this, the top is open, so it can release the gases out quickly. So my goldfish are never, suffocating, which happens a lot if you don't have good filtration, especially with goldfish, and especially with fancy goldfish. I have I use as substrate white marine estes sand. I like it because it looks nice, and it's more natural to them since they are sifters and they sift through sand for food. And this sand, this particular sand, won't hold those poisonous gases. It's very light. And they ingest it because when they go for their food, which are all sinking pellets, they swallow some sand, and I see it coming out and goes right back into the sand. So that's not a big problem for them. I also have California river rock, since I live close to the mountains, and there are a lot of river rock. My whole backyard is actually river rock. And I had cleaned these and put them in chlorine for 2 days. Scrubbed them really well before I put them in, of course. So there was no sand, no anything on there. And then after the 2 days, I took them out and put in a solution of 50/50 prime and water to make sure that it was dechlorinated. And I left those in for 3 days. And I came out every time, scrubbed them. Every time scrubbed them, I kept cleaning them. These are very, very old rocks, as you can see. Of course, rocks are old. Anyway, the sponge filters are not the only filtration I have in here. I have for mechanical and also very good biological. I have the canister filter, the Rena XP Filstar. It's the XP4 Filstar. It's a very large one. Now they call it the API Filstar, but it's the same. I bought it when it was still Rena. And this, as you can see right there, it sucks the water in here. And it's also a thermometer, a kind of a heater. But I've never used it because, yes, they're goldfish. So, 75 degrees at the most, 76. Sometimes they rise until 76, and they're fine. I intend to put a UV sterilizer in between the output of the Rena filter, so that it will keep the algae clear. I don't want to use products constantly by putting products in. But for now, I'm using Algon packets for larger aquariums, and that seems to work fine. As you can see, my many, many goldfish are very, very hungry because they're swimming stomachs. They don't have a stomach, but they are swimming stomachs. I have Ryukin. I have a Sakura, which is smooth, scaled Dominican. I have a black ranchu. His name is Popster. I have crown pearl scales, and I will be getting 3 more by the end of this week on Friday. but don't worry, I'm not going to put them in here, only temporarily if I don't have my 60-gallon setup. I also use, to monitor my ammonia, to make sure that never happens, it hurts them, I have the C-Cam thing, and you can buy these on Amazon for a few bucks. They're not expensive, and they actually accurately monitor the ammonia in your tank, because they only monitor the free ammonia, the toxic-free ammonia, which is what kills the goldfish if it spikes. This is yellow, which is perfect. You need to have the on yellow. You can't go to even lightest green. And my parameters are 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and less than 10 ppm nitrate, which is pretty good. pH is 7.2. I just monitored this morning using the API. Do not use the API test kit for monitoring your ammonia, because it'll give you false readings. It'll show all the ammonia that's in the tank, even the ammonia that's not toxic to your fish or less toxic, which doesn't really bother them. So I don't use it. I use instead the C-Cam monitor circle thingy. Anyway, I know that doesn't sound professional, but it's not coming up to my mind what it's called. Anyway, so I am overstocked, and yet my fish are thriving, and this has been this way for 6 months now. So they're doing very well. There are no burns. They have no difficulty with. Oh yeah, and I also add once a week the Wonder Shell. Very good to have, since it works to add electrolytes, minerals, and it's good for the osmo function, whatever that's called, for your fish to be able to drink and breathe. So it helps enormously to add that. I also salt my goldfish tank at a tablespoon per 5 gallons, which is very, very light. So that's at the most that I would put in the goldfish tank, and they love it. It helps, create the slime, and it helps them breathe as well and drink. It helps them in many, many ways. I have names for all my fish. I'm not going to say them all. Well, okay, this was Lumpy, and he's a little bit of a clown. And then you have Nigel, my black Moor, and I feed them Hikari lionhead pellets and New Life Spectrum goldfish pellet, 3 millimeter size. The reason I have 3 millimeter because it's a little larger and less, for them to pick up sand with when they start going after the pellets, and it's fine. In the beginning, I used the smaller ones because the little ones were very small and they couldn't fit, especially the Ryukin, because she has a bit of a jaw problem there. I don't know if you can see it. Her jaw's a little crooked, but she has excellent color. She's beautiful, and she's a sweetheart. And usually Ryukins are not that sweet, especially the short-tailed ones. They're usually a little more aggressive, but she is absolutely not aggressive. And I know that she's a she because the males chase her. This is Lucy, like Lucille Ball, because she's a ball, and she has that red pompadour kind of hairstyle that Lucy was famous for. And that's Spartacus, my oldest so far. He's the Oranda. And Pupster, and you have Nigel, and you have Lumpy, Bald Eagle, Fanny, and these are my babies, and I care very much for them. The water is nice and crystal clear, and I like to keep it that way. And as I say, they're thriving. So thank you for watching. I hope this was a little helpful. If not, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Bye.